Okay, to all my friends at Bass 6 lovers and Baritone obsessed, I'm going to tell you the story of how I almost ended up using this Eastwood replica of the TB64 from Teisco Del Rey to play with Tommi Stumpff. If you've never heard of Tommi Stumpff, I made a big video about him, link in the description box. But basically, he's one of the first guys to do computer music back in 1982, when doing computer music was actually hard. And in case you're one of the guys who hates electronic music, don't turn it off just yet, because he's a guitar guy too, and he just released a new album with a lot of heavy guitar and some smoking leads. Check the description box for where to find it. So, I keep telling the story because I think it's funny AF, and you might too. What happened was, I went to see him live for the first time back in 2008, and I had no idea, but basically, hours before the show, he had a situation where he needed a new guitarist on the spot. And he knew me from Facebook, and he just picked me out of the crowd and asked me if I want to try. I couldn't believe it then, and I still can't believe it now, because he's one of my heroes, because he's such an original artist. So I couldn't believe my luck, because he's a pro and I'm a rank amateur, but already then we were talking about how I was going to do this, and I was already thinking of ways to get out of playing normal guitar, because it's been years since I touched a normal baby guitar, because I was originally a bassist, and I am way more of a long scale kind of guy anyway. So I asked him what songs I should try out to demo for him, and he said 300 Tote, Lobotomy, and Kontergan Punk. I had no idea how his new electronic metal songs were laid out, so I just started playing along to his original album versions from back in the 80s and early 90s. And I thought, why not give him a little surprise and pull out the Bass 6 instead of a normal baby guitar. I knew it was going to be hard AF to do real fast power chords on the Bass 6, but damned if I wasn't going to try, and that's where our story begins. I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, so I threw on the original 300 Tote from 1991 and tried to play along with it. It was hard. As you can see, it was really difficult to play on the Bass 6, so, but I kept trying with Lobotomy. Kommando, Ekstase, Anstand, Lobotomie, Bacchus. So, as you can see, trying all of this on the bass 6 would have been problematic. At the beginning, I had this fantasy that, despite the tight string spacing of the bass 6, that somehow I was going to keep practicing this and become so good on the bass 6 that it was going to be totally effing awesome to use it for Tommi Stumpff, and he liked the color, even though it's a fairly goofy shade of green. Don't you think? Kontergan-Punk. Or Shiam-Nandaloo in some kind of triolic timing. Yeah, I guess that one kind of sort of would have worked, but yeah, who knows. So, Alles Idioten, the title track of his new album, which is heavily metallic, would have been something like this. And I guess that kind of would have worked for Alles Idioten, but it wasn't until later that I found out that Tommi Stumpff had already tried playing with a bassist, his old bassist, for Captain Nut from his first band, Kriminalitätsforderungsclub, and basically the bass doesn't work too well. The quote was, "Das lag am Instrumenten, nicht am Mann. Der Computer hat gewonnen," indicating that the computer bass sounds were more appropriate for his style of music than an actual bass. So the idea of the bass 6 was quickly discarded, and also it is just hard as hell to play metal riffs on it, for me at least. I'm sure that some of my friends that bass 6 lovers might disagree with this, but I just can't be tight with. Some of it is humanly possible. And then there's one of my absolute favorite riffs on the whole album. Would have been interesting. No. Doesn't sound too bad, actually. And then there's one of my other favorites, Geh sterben, which would have been, well, we'll try it. So you can see I'm having problems playing this. I don't practice enough on the bass 6. That's what it comes down to. But maybe if I did, I could have played it even more inappropriately in Tommy's band. Yeah, so that gets into the vagaries of trying to do metal power chords on the bass 6, and oh man, it didn't take us long to decide that I was going to play my regular baritone guitar, the Eastwood side jack. So it didn't take us long to settle on this one, the side jack and green burst. I threw some humbuckers in, which I've never done before, because I'm more of a P90 kind of guy. but I was happy to play on my favorite guitar, and the color of green is much more appropriate for the Stumpff colors. This green burst is really nice. Tommy liked it, I liked it, and it just is more appropriate in every way. Like. Yeah, that's 300 Tode in the metal version. It's one of my favorite songs. This is what Gay Sterben would have sounded like. Yeah, so big difference there. Why am I telling you about this failed attempt at bass 6? I don't know, I just thought it was funny. The whole thing is funny, to me at least. Maybe you'll get some entertainment value out of it too. And as you probably know by now, the side jack has been relegated to backup guitar status because I got this Royal Baritone from Grzenia Guitars. Alexander Grzenia made me this first ever prototype baritone, and I think you can order a 28-inch scale length version of most of his guitars, because on the strength of this awesome prototype, he is now offering baritones as a standard semi-custom item. Okay, that was Frohes Fest, another song I really like because it reminds me of Motorhead. It's got awesome lyrics in German, of course. So I think it's safe to say that Tommy's probably happy that I didn't insist on playing that bass 6, because otherwise I wouldn't be in the band. And there are certainly some disadvantages to working with a super fan who's just an amateur, me. And I couldn't stop getting overly excited about everything all the time, and was basically in full party mode every time I saw him because I was so damn excited. But Tommy was real chill about everything and put up with some BS from me because I'm still starstruck by working with him. And he was pretty cool about all that. And for that, I am eternally grateful. So thank you, Tommi Stumpff. It's been a wild ride, and I can't wait for the next gig, whenever they decide that gigs are allowed again. Alles Idioten, available now on signed green vinyl. Write to vuillot.promotion@gmail.com for your signed copy. Thank you very much.